Meet my new favorite toy. It's the Insta360 Extended Edition selfie stick, and this thing extends from 39 centimeters to 3 whole meters. OMG. And every effect you just saw was shot with said selfie stick and my One X2. So a bit about the stick, it extends to 3 meters, but you don't have to fix it at 3 meters or at 39 centimeters. You can fix it at multiple lengths in between the two distances. And yes, you still can call this one an invisible selfie stick because it doesn't really bend. It stays quite straight when extended all the way. Even at 3 meters, it stays mostly straight. Not 100%. It will bend in a little bit of wind or under the pressure of a heavy camera, but for the most part, this thing is invisible. The quality of the stick is really good because it's made of carbon fiber. It's solid and shouldn't break. Now let's have some fun. I want to take you through all of the shots from that opening montage and show you one by one exactly how I got them with this stick. First up is the spinning shot. Here I extended the selfie stick all the way to 3 meters, press record on my One X2 and spun around in a circle 2 or 3 times, and that's it. And to be perfectly honest, at the time when I was filming, I didn't even know what the end result would look like. Fortunately, it ended up extremely good. So what I've done is reframed it in the app, so I'm constantly in the center of the frame. I guess you could call this like an extended bullet time effect, but it's not really the same thing because I'm constantly facing the camera. As you'll see, I was constantly moving as the camera rotated. My feet pivoted me around. So I guess you could call it a human bullet time or another silly name that I'll probably come up with later. Enter the hyper-lapse, and as you also saw, suddenly this shot turned into a fast spinning tornado. In the app, I just sped it up to 16 times, applied the motion blur effect that you would traditionally add to hyperlapses, and voila. I did try reframing this shot at 4 times the speed with the motion blur effect, but it wasn't as effective. I think it's better played back at normal speed or at 16 times hyperlapse speed. So if you're gonna do the 16 times hyperlapse, you might wanna loop it a few times so you look like a human tornado, or you can get extra fancy and do what I did next, which was repeat the exact same shot at a different location, which I then transitioned into from the previous hyperlapse shot. Then in Adobe Premiere, I adjusted the frames so the rotation would roughly match the exact same spot when transitioning from the sped up version to the normal version. Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. My jokes need work. But anyway, here's another edit of this exact same shot outside the Harbour Bridge, and this time it's a tiny planet. How cool does that look? It's like I'm levitating on the planet while everything else is moving except me. Well, that's not quite true, because as I told you before, my feet were moving. So moving your feet very precisely is key to this effect. Next, I thought I'd attempt another shot where I had no idea what the outcome would be, but hey, there's no harm in trying stuff. And this time I fully extended the selfie stick, held it above my head, and simply just rotated on the spot. Who knows? Might be good. And this was the final result. It was like an instant pan, I guess. I didn't have to do any reframing other than just turning the 360 into a 16:9, and yeah, it turned out okay. It wasn't amazing, but if you turn direction lock off like I did here, it will make the planet or 360 video rotate automatically without having to do any keyframing. Although I'd probably write this one off because hypothetically, you could just stand there in the exact same situation and rotate the 360 video yourself later on your phone or on your computer. You don't need to rotate yourself. Next, I used the extremely long selfie stick to get my camera really close to the water directly underneath the Harbour Bridge. And this is always quite a sight if you've ever been to Sydney. The bridge is so big and epic and it's just really cool being underneath it. However, it's always been hard to capture in 360. So I held my camera out against the water. I knew the effect I was going for straight away, where the water formed a tunnel around the outside and the bridge was going from top to bottom inside the circle. And there you go. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next, I shot myself a hyperlapse, and by shooting a hyperlapse, I mean I extended the selfie stick all the way, held it above my head, and walked along a path between Circular Quay and the other side of the Harbour Bridge, which totaled roughly a 7-minute 360 video. When you do this in public, by the way, it's really embarrassing. You gotta hide your head or try to look really official, like you're a government photographer capturing the local landscape. So after 7 minutes of hiding my head, I ended up with one clip that gave me 3 effects from the opening montage. Again, I had no idea what I'd end up with. I just filmed and hoped for the best. So the first edit that immediately stood out to me was the Harbour Bridge. I knew that perspective shift would be really cool in a hyperlapse. So I reframed the video so it was constantly pointing at the bridge, then sped it up to 32 times speed with the motion blur effect, and it turned out really well. The next shot was another hyperlapse, but this time I shifted the perspective directly down so it was looking at me. And again, I took that same 7-minute clip and sped it up 32 times, meaning I had a 14-second hyperlapse just of me. But what was cool about this shot is the background is constantly changing. And I love that perspective. It's so unique, looking down almost like it's a bird's eye view. And this is a clip that worked in 2 ways. One was locked onto me, so I was constantly facing forwards. And in the second version, I turned direction lock off, meaning I'm changing directions constantly, but the background is staying at the same fixed perspective. And I found this selfie stick was a total winner in helping me get this shot, because with enough distance from me, I was able to get that wide reframe perspective, which made me seem smaller and blend into the background a bit more, which made the effect better in the end, as opposed to if it were here and it's just Ben's head cam. The final shot I got from this 7-minute clip was the horizon flip, and this one was ridiculously simple. All I did was in the app chose a 20-second clip, and I chose a segment where I could see both the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House in one shot. Then in the Insta360 Shot Lab, there's an effect called horizon flip where it basically does it for you. You can adjust small parameters, but yeah, I literally edited that and uploaded to Instagram stories within 60 seconds of shooting it. So I got 3 awesome shots from that one single clip. That's why I love 360 so much, is you can shoot first, point later. Most of the time when I go out shooting, I have no idea what the end result is going to be. I just shoot and hope for the best. And that was the case with this video. Everything I shot, I did in a rush, in maybe an hour and a half. Yet a lot of these shots look like great care and consideration was put into them. As the sun started going down, I decided I was going to get some kind of drone shot, spinning shot, hyperlapse shot of the Opera House. So that's what I did. I pressed record and I walked from one side of the front courtyard to the other. Ended up with a 3-minute clip, sped it up 16 times, added the motion blur effect, and voila. And yes, I know, I looked very silly. My final shot was a high up 360 perspective of the Opera House on the far side at sunset. So I was able to capture the sun setting behind the Harbour Bridge while also getting a kind of high-ish up shot of the Opera House. And I think using a selfie stick like this is good in situations like this where you want to focus more on the background and the environment you're in instead of it being a selfie where you're very prominently in shot. Okay, some final notes about this selfie stick. You can use it on a tripod. It has a 1/4 inch tripod thread on the bottom. However, be careful. Don't extend it all the way out to 3 meters. Put it on a tripod and walk away because you know it's going to fall over. However, one exception I see to this is shooting at eye level, and the best use case for that is in a virtual tour type situation. This absolutely would be suitable for shooting virtual tours because combined with a good tripod and a counterweight, it will be steady and reliable. The Insta360 Extended Edition selfie stick is $100, and that's not cheap. Is it worth it? Well, yes. If you're hoping to get cool shots, then this is something that will last a long time. It's good quality, and just being able to get a wider range of shots like the ones I got in this video can really make you stand out. And I love that it collapses down to such a small size so it can easily be fit in a backpack. It is a toy, an expensive toy, and an absolutely not necessary toy. So if you don't want to spend $100 on a selfie stick, there are alternatives like the previous Insta360 3-meter stick. It's not as good, but it's cheaper, and there are other generic brand 3-ish meter selfie sticks out there. That's it. Link to the selfie stick and 1x2 below. It's been fun. It's been real. Peace out, and I will see you next time.